Hey everybody, it's Ian the Untitled Crafter. I hope you're having a great day today. Today we're going to be talking about the Cricut Foam that is out right now that you can pick up at Cricut.com or Joann's or some other places I can't think of off the top of my head. It is craft foam that is specifically designed to be cut on your Cricut machine. But before we get to that, I want to show you a product that I found at Joann's today. It is a Cricut bag. I don't even think this is on the website. I haven't seen it. It may be there and I just have missed it. But it is a Cricut bag that is in blue. So it's the exact same type of bag that you get when you order the Cricut Explorer Air or the Cricut Explorer. The Cricut Explorer 1 does not come with a bag, but you can purchase one now over at Joann's. I saw this at Joann's, and it comes in different colors as well. I found the grayish bag, I think they call that the slate color. I found that at Joann's, and I also found this carry bag in denim. Can you see the name? Denim right there. So, of course I have to have blue. I'm going to take this bag and put this with my Cricut Explorer Air, and then give my bag that came with my Cricut Explorer Air, and give that to my aunt since she has the Cricut Explorer 1 and does not have a carrying bag for it. So here's the bag now out of the box, and I really like the color of it. It looks really, really good. May not show up perfectly on camera, but it's a nice kind of steel blue color, which I really like. So this is the open package of the Craft Foam Distress. You can see that right there. Comes in all these wonderful bright colors as well as some more muted colors. So I got this material whenever I got my Cricut Explorer Air, and I really wanted to give it a try and test it out, and I had a really cool project in mind. One of my friend's daughters is turning 5 this month, and I wanted to come up with a unique gift for her, and I think I found out how to do that using this craft foam. So when I cut it out, I made sure to use big shapes and not small ones. You really don't want anything with intricate details. You want simple shapes, simple patterns. Otherwise it may not cut out as well as you need it to. Now you do have to have a deep cut blade if you're going to be using the craft foam with your Cricut Explorer machine. The regular blade will not make it through. It is highly suggested that you use a strong grip mat like this one right here. It's going to be the purple color if you're buying the pack, or if you're in Joann's, look for the strong grip mat, which is purple. And that's recommended to put your craft foam on whenever you're cutting it. So the present that I'm going to be giving to my friend's daughter who's celebrating her 5th birthday are these really, really bright, happy shapes. On the back there's a piece of Velcro that I have hot glued onto the back of these pieces. All the different pieces have it on the back here. And I've also gotten a piece of felt. So on this piece of felt I've put a cord on it so that it can be hung up, and I've bought a command hook set for my friend so that way all she has to do is take this out of the package or box or whatever we end up putting it in, and then stick it up on the wall, and it should be ready to go for the daughter. So all you do is you take the little shapes and then you stick them right onto the felt just like this in whatever form or pattern you want, just like that. So all the shapes can go onto this. It's a big piece of felt. I think it's almost a yard big. So there's plenty of room to put all the shapes. And then they just come right off. They tear right off. Not tear, but they come right off with that Velcro. And then you can rearrange them to different places. So I hope she's going to like it. Alright, this is the part of the review that I don't like. I'm going to be a little bit critical of the Cricut Craft Foam. It was a little hard to work with and cut out. I'm not exactly sure what I was doing wrong. As I'm cutting out this white piece of craft foam, my Cricut starts to cause the foam to pull up off the mat. Even though it's a strong grip mat, it still came up off the mat, and I had to pause my Cricut as I was cutting this piece. So I'm not exactly sure what I did wrong. I made sure every time I put a new piece of foam on that I pressed it pretty hard onto this mat, and I also made sure that my settings were correct. Now, I will say that I did not set it correctly at the first. At first I set it to, there's a setting for just craft foam, and I thought that was what the instructions were saying to set it to. But later I figured out that I needed to switch it over to the Cricut Craft Foam Distressed, and I did that. But I still had problems with the foam bunching up and wrinkling and coming off the mat. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing wrong or what's going on with it. I love Cricut and I love all of their products, and I'm not exactly sure why this product wasn't working like I expected it to. Another thing I didn't like about the foam was whenever I was using it, it didn't cut all the way through. You had to use the deep cut blade, so make sure you have a deep cut blade in order for it to cut, but it didn't cut all the way through, so you had to kind of push and start it and then go all around the shape and pop it out of the craft foam, which wasn't a big deal, but I would have rather been easier for me to pop out these shapes instead of having to sit there and clean up all the shapes as I'm pulling them out of the craft foam. I do love Cricut as a company, but this product so far hasn't worked for me. Now I did email Cricut and asked for advice. I sent them the video that showed the white craft foam coming up off of the mat and asked them if they had any advice on what I was doing wrong, something I could do better, any way that I could get this to not wrinkle as it goes through the Cricut machine. They sent back a response saying that I needed to make sure I adhered it to the mat a little bit better and make sure that I really push it down. And they also offered to replace the mat and the foam free of charge, which was very kind of them, and I really appreciate that. So this video is not really over. This is kind of part one of the craft foam video, and we'll be doing a retest here in the coming weeks whenever I get that next package in. So I'm gonna say that my final verdict is still out. I need to get that package in and see if I can experiment and use it a little bit more to see if I can get better results. So for now, I'm just gonna say to be continued. But it worked for what I needed it for now, and I think my friend's daughter is really going to love all these shapes and being able to move them around on the felt. And I can't wait to see the pictures that I get from her. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. That lets YouTube know that you liked my video and would like other people to see it as well. Don't forget, you can also find me on Facebook. Just look for the Off Kilter Crafter. And on Twitter, my handle is @OffKilterIan. And don't forget, if you like this video and want to see more from me, all you have to do is hit that button down below that says subscribe. There's also an icon somewhere on the screen, but again, YouTube keeps moving it around, so I'm not going to point to any corner because when I pointed up here, it moved down there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope everybody has a great day, and remember guys, keep it off kilter. Bye! Meant to be cut on your click it click it or ticket. Made from did I say that wrong? I said that wrong. Make sure, oh, you can see my camera. Look at that. I should have taken the cover off. Oh well. You can see all around my room. Woo.